And now let's meet the starting lineups. We'll begin with our guests from West Orange. And we'll start at point guard with senior number 1, Skylar Thompson. At guard, senior number 12, A.J. Gillard. At small forward, junior number 42, Tanisha Predeles. At power forward, sophomore number 24, Jasmine Gibson. And finally, at center, senior number 23, Ailey Schick. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your Wekiva High School Mustangs. Starting at forward, 5'10" senior number 32, Kanari Holiday. At guard, 5'7" junior, number 0, Jade Lewis. At forward, 6' senior, number 15, Rylan Moffitt. At guard, 5'9" senior, number 22, Shania McCarthy. And finally for the Mustangs, at guard, 5'6" sophomore, number 10, Jada Eads. The officials for tonight's game are from the Central Florida Officials Association here in Orlando. We thank them for their dedicated service to our high school athletic programs and join them along with our participating schools, reminding everyone to make great sportsmanship a part of this and every athletic competition. For those of you here in the arena, we want to remind you that we are live streaming tonight's game on YouTube and the NFHS Network. If you have friends and family who are stuck back in Winter Garden on the other side of a Popka or anywhere in the world and they would like to join us virtually tonight, all they have to do is open up the YouTube app on their favorite computer, smart TV, or mobile device, and then select Wekiva Sports. That's the channel name. Search for that. It should come right up. If they are a member of the NFHS Network, they are also able to join us there. We simulcast there as well. And for those of you who are already doing that, welcome to Mustang Arena. This is Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs and sports information director here at Wekiva High School, ready to take you through this contest. And boy, the Mustangs wasting no time getting started with a tray from Eads that just doesn't fall. And Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief joins me tonight as we get ready to open up our 15th anniversary season.
Yeah, a couple of trays begin for both teams. Wekiva, neither went in. Wekiva in the white jerseys. This is Jada Eads, the sophomore, bringing the ball up. West Orange in their traditional road orange jerseys with the blue numbers. And to reiterate, Mark, thank you for joining us on a Friday night. The semifinals of the 2021 Metro West Girls Basketball Championship Tournament. Wekiva number 1, West Orange number 4, and this has been a rivalry, not quite as intense because there's not as much weight the last couple of years since Wekiva has moved down in classification, but they have had a series, and we'll get more into that as the game progresses. West Orange, in the meantime, second possession, the drive to the rim, to the rack. Gilliard unable to drop the ball in. Eads gets the rebound, and we come back the other way. Fast pace. Stop, pop, and drop for Eads.
Jada Eads puts the Mustangs on the board.
Down to the other end. Oh, the quick pass in the lane. And the withdrawal from Scheich. 2-2.
Allie Schick on the pass from Jasmine Gibson.
And now West Orange going man-to-man at half court. Holiday with the tray, rims in and out. Moffitt bringing the Windex. She can't get the board to drop, but Holiday with the second chance point.
Canary Holiday on the putback for the Mustangs.
Long pass underneath to Schick, and she goes window glass again.
Allie Schick, 2 more for the Warriors.
So neither team was able to score on their first 2 possessions. They have now each scored on their last 2 possessions. We are at 4-4, and Eads pushed out of bounds. Excuse me, that's Lewis, the newcomer, and it's going to be a turnover as well. So the first turnover of the game, 1:50 in, and West Orange with the opportunity to take its first lead of the game. Schick hands off, fake to Gilliard, the drive, and the easy lane. Open up for
Jasmine Gibson gets the layup for the Warriors.
And Coach Butts certainly cannot be happy with that. He talked about the defense needing to improve.
Yeah, that was too easy.
Yeah, even though Wekiva won last night, Coach Butts says now we get a turnover. He was not happy with the defense. Short, the rebound, and no roll, but again, a third offensive rebound and a foul. Gibson drawing that foul.
Mustang foul is called against number 15, Rylan Moffitt. That's her first personal foul. And the team's first. At the line, shooting 2, Jasmine Gibson.
So Wekiva comes into the semifinal after defeating Ocoee. Wekiva, the number 1 seed, 59-27 last night. And West Orange, the number 4 seed, defeated Evans by a 67-26 score. Big victories for both of these teams. We talked about it in the opening round, Mark. This is a tournament that it would be a surprise if there were any surprises. 1 of 2 free throws, 7-4. West Orange East drives that line. Kick out to Moffitt. Short. Continuous work there by Lewis. She picks up the loose ball and drain the rain.
Jada Eads from Jade Lewis for 3.
And just that quickly, we're tied at 7-7. And just that quickly again,
Allie
the tie's
Schick
broken.
from Skylar Thompson.
Schick going withdrawal off the glass. And certainly this has been a game that has lived up to the expectations. 9-7, 3 minutes in, fast pace. And Eads leading the charge over to Moffitt. She kicks it off the heel, and it hits that wire, which is part of the suspension holding up the basket.
Yeah, that's considered the same as going out of bounds, and so it'll be a team rebound for West Orange. And Neil, you and I talked about this a little bit last night, that West Orange has a little bit of history with Wekiva, particularly when they used to be in the same classification. They have upset Wekiva on a couple of occasions.
Yeah.
They've had a little bit of a rough patch over the last couple of years. They've not been the threat that they had been a few seasons ago. But if anybody has the potential to cause trouble for Wekiva and deny them the chalk, it would be West Orange.
That's Eads with the long range. Moffitt grabbing the loose rebound back out to Eads. Stop fake, no rain. Again, some Windex work being done by Wekiva.
And McCarthy with a nice board there from the baseline.
Another short one. And we come the other way with Predalis leading the charge. Couple of passes. This is Thompson, who drains the rain.
Skylar Thompson from Tanisha Predalis, 4-3, and we'll pause for a Mustang timeout. 30-second timeout requested by Wekiva.
And Wekiva takes that timeout after giving up consecutive. 12-7 when we come back. This is the semifinals. Mustang Arena, the site. This is the semifinal of the 2021 Metro West Girls Basketball Championship. West Orange in the West jerseys on defense. A 5-0 run has propelled them into a 12-7 lead against Wekiva with possession of the ball. Gordon, who came in during that break, the long pass to Moffitt. Over to Hardin. She can't get the short one to drop. Excuse me, that was Hercule coming in earlier than we've seen any time so far in this young season. The drive, the foul, and Thompson will go to the line.
Foul called against Mustangs number 10, Jada Eads. That's her first personal foul. The team's second. At the line shooting will be number 1, Skylar Thompson. There's correction, that is on the floor. It'll be Warriors ball at the opposing baseline.
So last night, Wekiva beat Ocoee. They beat them by 37 points as the tray over the net, and that's Shania McCarthy, picks up the long ball. This is Eads, and she's going to pass it over to McCarthy, who's going to launch the tray off the right side. Moffitt grabbing the loose ball, and she floats the ball in for the deuce.
Rylan Moffitt with a Mustangs second chance basket.
So 12-9. Coach Butts was not happy with Wekiva's performance last night despite winning. As the drive, the hand in, loose ball. Thompson picks it up. 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. And Butts in particular was not happy with Wekiva's defensive performance in their turnovers as the drive and the hand in by, I believe that was McCarthy, but too much hand in a foul. West Orange back to the line.
Foul called against Mustangs number 10, Jada Eads. That's her second personal foul. Team's third.
And Coach didn't talk specifically last night about the foul problem, but I'm sure if he was to point out an individual as far as an issue, it would be Jada Eads. She had 4 fouls last night. Of course, she dropped 19, and Wekiva didn't really need her services in the fourth quarter, but that certainly will be a different case tonight against West Orange. 13-9. Eads brings the ball up. Eads also had 8 deflections last night. We'll talk more about that as well. Moffitt from the key. No dice. Hard Windex work at the other end by Princess Hardin, and she draws the first foul from West Orange.
Foul called against the Warriors. Number 42, Tanisha Predelis. That's her first personal foul. The team's first.
So
Princess Hardin shooting 2.
Hardin goes to the line. She scored 9 points in 18 minutes last night. 1 of 4 from the free throw last night. So that trend continues. And Wekiva in general is not shooting the ball well from the free throw line. As the second drops, makes us 13-10. Wekiva is 38% from the free throw line. As no dice for West Orange, and McCarthy, the senior, pulls down the rebound. The spin out to Gordon. The Wekiva sets up.
Looks like we're going to get a ground foul against West Orange here. Warriors foul called against number 42, Tanisha Predelis. That's her second personal foul, and the team's second as well.
So a couple of fouls, quick fouls on West Orange. That makes it 3-2. Wekiva with the 3. Eads drops back. She's going to launch from the top of the key. Clanks off that rim. Scramble, out of bounds. Wekiva possession. 13-10. West Orange has led the whole way. They scored the first 5 points. Eads will inbound. She finds Gordon in the corner. McCarthy. She comes up to the top. Heels off the heel of the rim. And another foul for Wekiva on the rebound.
Foul called against Mustangs number 21, Princess Hardin. That's her first personal foul. The team's fourth.
So West Orange snags the rebound, draws the foul. At the other end, it's Predelis. Hardin comes down with the rebound, pulling out the Windex. Eads, no stop. Oh, beautiful bounce path. Withdrawal from Moffitt.
Jada Eads to Rylan Moffitt for 2.
Score the bounce pass. That's the way Coach Butts draws it up in practice. Thompson on the other end. 1:40 remaining in the first quarter. Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi from Mustang Arena. semifinals of the Metro West Conference Championship Tournament. The drive by Gibson, and she floats that deuce in.
Jasmine Gibson.
So Gibson gives West Orange the 3-point lead. Wekiva at the other end. Gordon, short. The rebound for Hardin. The spin, no foul. There's a lot of contact. Gordon picks up the loose ball. Now Eads picks up that second loose ball. She's not going to set up the offense. She's going to go herself. Unable to get that 10-foot J. And some nice body work there from Predolis to keep that ball in bounds and not go out. Long outlet. An interception. Hardin stepping in front of that bounce pass. She finds Eads. Oh, the fake pass. Can't get the shot to drop, though. Ayers gets her own rebound. Can't get the second shot. Battle continues under, and Predolis picks up a loose ball. And after all that is said and done.
Timeout. West Orange. 30-second timeout called by the Warriors.
So Wekiva certainly not playing quite as well as they were last night, but hanging around. We got a 3-point game. 15-12, West Orange's lead, 50 seconds remaining. The 2021 Metro West Girls Basketball Championship Tournament. This is the semifinal game. West Orange in the orange jerseys with a 15-12 lead over the host Wekiva Mustangs. West Orange the number 4 seed, Wekiva the number 1 seed. And we've seen pretty much everything that you would expect from these two state championship contenders. Long-range tray, rims in and out, and that's Gordon.
It's hard to believe that that's what West Orange designed during the timeout, but nevertheless, that's what they went with. And this really is the first really serious competition that Wekiva has seen this season, and probably good for them to get their chops built up early here.
Yeah, preseason or regular season.
Foul called against Mustangs. Number 12, Amaria Gordon on the push. That's her first personal foul. The team's fifth. At the line shooting, Jasmine Gibson.
So Gibson will go to the line with West Orange holding a 15-12 lead. And that's the fifth foul, as Mark just indicated. So Wekiva already having to keep an eye on the fouls. 23 seconds remaining. McCarthy with the ball, finds Gordon. West Orange has been going full court man-to-man most of this game. This is Eads. She'll drop it to McCarthy. The fake, the stop, pop, and drop.
Shania McCarthy from Jada Eads, 4-2.
17-14, West Orange. One last opportunity. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2. The baseline drive attack. No dice, nothing but air. And so
that takes us to the end of the first period, and it's a close one. The Warriors enjoy a 3-point advantage at the end of 8 minutes. We'll be back with the second quarter from Mustang Arena here in the girls basketball semifinal round of the 2021 Metro West Championships.
About to begin the second quarter. This is the semifinals of the 2021 Metro West Girls Basketball Championship Tournament.
The Warriors have the opening possession of the second period.
And West Orange will begin the second quarter with a 17-14 lead. They broke out to a 5-0 lead and have held the lead since then. This is Thompson. Down low, too much heat from Calvez, who came in between the quarters. And so Wekiva with an opportunity to cut into the lead or even tie, trailing by 3. And I want to go back to where we started. These two teams have not played that much, or at least there's not been as much weight on their games in the last couple of seasons since they're no longer in the same classifications. But for about 5 years, these two teams had a rough and tough as the interception and saved by Gilliard up to the top with Thompson. They met 5 consecutive years in the district championship tournament when they were in the same division in class. As Thompson goes right, left, Moffitt tried to get that hand in there without the foul, but unsuccessful. And so a 6th foul now committed by Wekiva.
Foul called against number 15, Rylan Moffitt. That's her 2nd personal foul, the team's 6th.
The inbound to Gilliard, over to Calvez. Drops low to Thompson. Kicks off the heel, though Trey no good. And Moffitt, quick outlet pass to Harden. She doesn't have the angle. Good defense by Thompson to cut off that angle. Wekiva will continue with possession. So the name, if you're a Wekiva fan, that brings you pain, Mark, that's Christina Klein. In 2018, she dropped a 10-foot jumper with about 20 seconds left in the district championship final. As Wekiva goes low, ball comes loose. Gibson doing some handwork in there, and she's going to lead the charge at the other end.
Yeah, they were counting on Kanari Holiday's height to give her the advantage in the paint. And it turns out that Gibson just got in there and jumped high enough that the height advantage was eliminated.
Well, the other part of that, too, is Gibson's just as tall as Kanari. And Kanari did not start last night. She sat out. Actually, she sat out the last couple of games. Coach Butts wanted to give her niece a chance to get some rest. This is Gilliard. And Wekiva catches a break as that ball went into no man's land and out of bounds. They get possession. So the 2018 District Championship Tournament, Christina Klein drained a 10-foot jumper in the closing seconds, about 20 remaining, and that capped off a furious comeback from West Orange. They trailed about 20 points midway through the third quarter as Eads drains the rain.
Jada Eads for 3.
Eads left wide open, and she takes advantage, 17-all. And again,
you may not think that you need to cover a player who's that far back, but you'd be wrong. And A.J. Gillard answers with a layup for the Warriors.
Yeah, Eads again dropped 19 points last night. And she has come out intense, not just tonight, but last night. Talked about her having 8 deflections yesterday, and you just saw why she's
foul called against number 12, A.J. Gillard. That's her 1st personal foul, the team's 3rd.
And you just saw why she's known for her offense with the tray, but she has certainly upped her game defensively. Hasn't really had to show it tonight, but certainly at some point tonight, if it's needed, she has that defense. Now she's going to drive the baseline. Oh, the nice pass to Moffitt, who gets the finger roll.
Rylan Moffitt from Jada Eads.
19-all. So, again, going back to that 2018 District Championship Tournament final, as the ball comes loose, Wekiva forces a turnover.
Well, I don't know about forced. Schick just kind of, I don't know, she lost her eye on where that ball was going.
So when all was said and done in 2018, that loss to West Orange in the finals sent Wekiva on the road to Colonial, and that really changed the direction. They wound up losing that game. Certainly it was a game that you probably, Wekiva, I don't want to say they won, but they lost by 12 points in that game. They probably come down to the last 30 seconds or so. So a number of games between these two teams had great weight. That was the one that sticks out as McCarthy.
Shania McCarthy for 3.
And just that quickly, Wekiva in the lead, 22-19, a 7-2 run.
Warriors trying to get something done in transition there, but hit a wall thanks to
Lewis,
Moffitt.
interception like a defensive back, and she drives the lane, splits the defense, draws the foul.
Jade Lewis fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Mustangs. The foul was called against Warriors number 1, Skylar Thompson. That's her 1st personal foul and the team's 4th.
So 22-19 lead for Wekiva. They have scored 7 of the last 9 points to surge into the lead, their first lead of the night. And Lewis at the line looking to increase that lead. Lewis, a transfer from Bishop Moore. And, of course, Coach Butts was very happy to have her come over to Wekiva. Obviously, she brings a skill set, a 2-year starter at Bishop Moore. But even more so, he was happy that she adopted to their style so quickly. And doing Windex work is another newcomer.
Gianna Beecham on the putback.
Beecham doing Windex work.
And just like that, Wekiva is now up by 6.
A 10-2 run. Pass inside, attempted for Scheich, out of bounds. So West Orange will maintain possession of the ball.
Nice work by Gordon there in the paint, getting in the way of that one, disrupting the momentum. That's one of those that even if it doesn't have a tangible result for you in terms of possession, it really changes the momentum and gives you some energy. And then it can also disorient West Orange, get in their head a little bit, and then something like that happens as Skylar Thompson lets the ball go out of bounds. Mustangs ball.
Yeah, it changes the whole dynamics of the possession. Now trying to use a trap, that's West Orange. Wekiva, well, they got over half court, but as you mentioned on West Orange's possession,
well, one good turnover deserves another there. And
Wekiva was just as disoriented as West Orange. So,
yeah, I think that's one of those classic. You see that in football a lot, where the quarterback and the receiver just aren't on the same wavelength and not running the route you thought they were going to run.
In the meantime,
beautiful pass. Can't convert the layup, though, for Predelis. And Gordon is there and ready to make the rebound.
Yeah, and Wekiva certainly has upped its defense in rebounding since the timeout. This is Beecham.
That's going to touch the backboard equipment again. That's the equivalent of out of bounds.
So West Orange brings the ball up. 4 minutes remaining. They trail 25-19. Wekiva on the 10-2 run. Gilliard into the corner to Calvez. She drives that lane, attacks, and gets the rebound.
Zoe Calvez into the books for the Warriors.
Cuts the lead to 25-21.
Her first points of the night.
Coleman, who came in during the just recently came in, and again disoriented by the defense of West Orange. Calvez over to Thompson.
Yeah, that was really Coleman's fault, not Gordon's, because she was just trying to avoid the backcourt violation.
And another turnover. This is Thompson. She's going to go right down the paint. Runs into a wall of McCarthy and Lewis. McCarthy picks up the loose ball.
Well, yeah, she stripped that on the way up, so I'm going to give her a block and a rebound for that.
So now, chance to take your breath, at least for a half a second. McCarthy launches, drains the rain.
Shania McCarthy, 3 from Jade Lewis.
And Wekiva, 28-21, the largest lead of the night at 7. Thompson trying to make something happen. She again runs into a wall of Wekiva defense.
Foul called against Mustangs number 12, Amaria Gordon. That's her second personal foul. The team's 7th. That will put the Warriors into bonus. Skylar Thompson is at the line shooting 1-1.
So as Mark just said, still 2:51 remaining in this first half, and Wekiva's already in the bonus. West Orange is in the bonus, meaning Wekiva has committed 7 fouls. So that's another issue. The other part of that problem, of course, is not only does West Orange go to the free throw line, but now you're running into the situation where you could have players disqualified. In the meantime, though, Coach Butts has to rotate his players in and out. You have to be careful not to have somebody commit that third foul at this stage of the game. So we have a stoppage discussion among the referees. Coach Butts, not sure what he was discussing.
I believe it was an equipment issue with earrings.
Okay. So bottom line, though, is Skylar Thompson at the line, the senior guard with an opportunity to cut a 7-point lead held by Wekiva, and she takes care of the front end. Several dribbles, a slow pace, and the end result is success. And now another whistle before the ball's put into play. And the lead is now 28-23.
Yeah, it looked like Zoe Calvez slipped on some sweat there in the key and went down hard, and so the official paused the game, especially it was a dead ball anyway, so you might as well keep the player safe. And height coming into play as that is stolen by Predelis, who is not able to convert but does draw the foul. Predelis will be at the line shooting 2 for the Warriors. The foul called against Omaria Gordon. That is her 3rd personal foul, the team's 8th.
So Wekiva, a very inconsistent performance so far, in particular the turnovers. The first quarter or so, a number of turnovers, and that allowed West Orange to take a lead. They were up by as many as 6. They scored the first 5 points. Then they were not turning the ball over for about 5 minutes, and they put together a 10-2 run, which put them in the lead. And this is Eads. Out to McCarthy. The senior launches, clanks off the rim. Windex work for Hardin. She can't get the conversion, though. Back out to Eads, top of the key. Steps back twice and drains the ring.
Jada Eads for 3. And those offensive rebounds giving the Mustangs extra chances, and it really pays off there as Eads cashes in.
Yeah, that allows you to overcome those turnovers. This is Thompson. Soft floater, no dice. Oh, bad pass, picked up by Predelis, and she draws the foul, partially of her own doing, running into Eads, and Eads just not being able to get out of the way because the play developed so quickly.
Block is called against Mustangs number 21, Princess Hardin, on the block. That's her 2nd personal foul, the team's 9th. At the line shooting 2 is number 42, Tanisha Predelis. Checking into the game for Wekiva, Jade Lewis, and for West Orange, A.J. Gillard.
And once again, Wekiva's turnovers, they've just been very inconsistent. Coach Butts talked about just being sloppy, even though they won last night and they won going away. He was not satisfied with their performance, and in particular, turnovers. Yes, West Orange has something to do with that, but Wekiva, a lot of turnovers. There's also the role of just losing your focus and not really paying attention to the details. And here you see West Orange. They've been going full court man-to-man the whole game. Eads launches the tray short, out of bounds, in West Orange possession. So the game began with West Orange making a number of turnovers in the first quarter or so. West Orange took the lead 5-0 as
and we've got a reversal here. They're going to say that West Orange touched that at some point before it went out of bounds. So Wekiva catches a break there.
Yeah. So then Wekiva, for about 5 minutes, as a tray is launched, long.
Yeah, Lewis can't get that one.
Picked up by Gilliard, and we come back the other way. The long pass, and
beautiful pick.
Eads again, doing what she did last night. Just got a hand in, and she goes coast to coast.
Jada Eads, coast to coast, a steal 2 for the Mustangs.
35-26. And there again, Mark, is an example of what we've seen all night. Great defense at one possession, and then they turn the ball over on offense. Very inconsistent, but
checking into the game for West Orange, number 24, Jasmine Gibson.
But the bottom line, Mark, is a minute and a half before halftime. Wekiva has been consistent enough to hold a 7-point lead in the semifinals of the Metro West Girls Basketball Championship Tournament. Of course, West Orange, one of their biggest nemesis. They're the 4 seed. Wekiva won. The floater from Eads. Score the deuce.
Jada Eads from the key for 2.
And despite the trials and tribulations, Wekiva, a 9-point lead, the largest of the game. And Eads, who once again had 8 deflections last night, gets her hands on the ball again. It's not a turnover. West Orange continues to have possession. But as you mentioned, Mark, a couple of times, when you get a hand on the ball and the opponent has to inbound, that changes the whole dynamics of the possession.
Full timeout requested by the Warriors. So West Orange, just like at the end of the last quarter, takes a timeout with about a minute left. We'll be back in a moment to conclude the half. to watch those games. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, here with Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief. And Neil, Wekiva so far throughout both the preseason and the regular season has mercy ruled every team they have encountered. I am not ready to call the final result of this game yet, but I am fairly confident in stating that this is not going to be a running clock.
No, 9-point lead for West Orange. They inbound the ball. 1 minute. Gilliard with the shot. Drops off the board. And we come the other way. Eads, under 1 minute, comes to the center. She launches another tray short. Moffitt got a hand on that, and I saw a West Orange player, and the refs.
Moffitt was right. The official agrees with her that Ali Schick had the last touch.
So once again, Wekiva's been able to overcome some inconsistent play. Very sloppy at times and very concise and well executed at other times. And that has been mostly the work of the offensive rebounds. They've taken 33 field goals in this first half. And there's a 34th. Ball comes loose. Another offensive rebound. Moffitt tries to go off the board. And we come the other way. Predelis leads the 2-on-1 to Calvez. Wekiva catches the break off the rim. Eads again, picks up that loose ball. And now right, left, back to the left.
Deciding whether she wants to try to go something in transition or wait for her team to catch up and set up a half court, but she decides to go for it. She doesn't get it, but she does draw the foul. Foul called against Warriors number 24, Jasmine Gibson. That's her first personal foul, the team's fifth, and that will send Jada Eads to the free throw line, shooting 2 for the Mustangs.
So Eads with 2 free throws, an opportunity to extend Wekiva's lead to the largest of this game. This is a game that Wekiva got off to a somewhat rough start in terms of what we're used to seeing. Some of that had to do with West Orange as Eads drops the first of the 2. Eads scoring 19 points last night in what was essentially 3 quarters. She sat out the fourth quarter with 4 fouls. But Wekiva, in comparison to what we're used to seeing, pretty inconsistent.
Yeah, now, of course, remember, last night, Wekiva was okay, maybe above average in the first half, and then I don't know whether Tommy Butts said something to them in the locker room, or maybe they had a box of Wheaties back there or what, but Wekiva exploded out of the gate in the third quarter. We'll see if they can make that happen again
McCarthy
tonight.
Launches.
Shania McCarthy from Jada Eads to get the last word of the first half, and the Mustangs will go up 40-26 as the buzzer sounds.
Yeah, and that's all, once again, set up with all defensive rebounding. The ball got to Eads. Eads with the pass to McCarthy. She stopped, popped, and dropped. And when all was said and done, West Orange takes a dagger to the heart. Exactly what you can't afford if you're down. And despite Wekiva's inconsistency and their trials and tribulations, they have that 14-point lead going into halftime. This is the semifinal of the Metro West Girls Basketball Championship Tournament. In the semifinals of the 2021 Metro West Girls Basketball Championship Tournament, about to begin the second half, Wekiva holding a 40-26 lead. Again, the winner of this game will take on either Dr. Phillips or Apopka. That's the 2 versus 3. That game is going on right now. And the story was a turnaround for Wekiva. They trailed 17-14, 6:09 remaining in the second quarter. Jada Eads drains the rain, a tray from the right side, right wing, that tied the game at 17-all. And since then, Wekiva has outscored West Orange 28-11. So thank you for joining us on a Friday night. I'm Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi, my partner and public address announcer, and certainly not the start you want if you're Wekiva, turning the ball over.
Yeah, they'll lose the arrow for that as well.
And
I mean, it was a good idea. I see exactly what she was trying to do there. She had an open player under the basket, could have gotten an instant conversion, but instead they don't get possession at all.
In the meantime, that's Gilliard trying to drive the lane. She goes off the board. No dice. Come back the other way. That's Lewis. Soft pass into Holiday. Probably too soft. Holiday really not able to do anything with it. And now Predelis sets the offense. She'll hand it off to Thompson. Back to Gilliard on the left wing. 30 seconds into the second half. Down low for Predelis, who sets and tries the tray. And Eads, again, who was the star of the first half, 17 points, 4 assists. You know, last year Eads was a freshman. She was the leading scorer. As the tray is launched, and that for the second time tonight, hits that wire right above the basket, which holds it up. And that is a out-of-bounds play as far as the rules are concerned. Eads with 17 points, 4 assists. McCarthy, number 2, 11 points, a senior. And Moffitt doing the Windex work with 7 rebounds. Gilliard hands off to Gibson, back to Schick. Down low to Predelis. He's going to try to work that inside. No dice there. Back out to Thompson on the right wing. Over to the left from 5 feet beyond. Clanks off that heel, and a foul.
No, it's not a foul. They're going to say it touched the backboard equipment.
Okay.
So that'll be a team rebound for Wekiva, same as if it gone out of bounds.
Okay. And that's the third time tonight.
That's the fourth time, 2 on each side.
Okay. So looking at the stats.
It's one of those things you don't see that at the NBA because the NBA uses the backboards that come up from behind instead of down from the ceiling, but that's just the nature of high school gymnasiums, that these are multi-purpose facilities, and we don't have a crew of dozens that comes in and sets it up before every game.
Yeah, and that was Holiday who took the shot. So Eads, 6:38 remaining in the third quarter, and Wekiva's not going to inbound the ball, the whistle. So we'll take a quick look at the stats after Mark calls out the change of possession.
Shania McCarthy is called with number 32. Kanari Holiday is called with an offensive foul that turns the ball over to the Warriors, the team's first of this half.
So those stats, the difference has been offensive rebounds, as West Orange did not see this very often in the first half. A very deliberate pace bringing the ball up. That's Gilliard. And that offensive rebound has been a difference in the amount of field goals attempted, as Thompson tries one. Moffitt unable to grab the Kareem. Back out to Gilliard. Oh, air ball out of bounds. And Holiday held her ground. That was a rebound that Holiday didn't really need to touch the ball. She just blocked, made it difficult for the West Orange defenders to get to it. So that difference in rebounds, a 11-2 advantage, that's offensive rebounds, has given Wekiva 14 more, 36-22 field goal attempts.
Double team, gets out of it, gets to the paint. Holiday too hot on the layup. Oh, my, going down hard.
Yeah, that's Gibson, number 24. And Eads did help her up.
Held ball, possession, Warriors. So there again, because Wekiva turned the ball over on the initial throw-in, that also lost the possession arrow, so that'll count as a rebound for Gibson.
So those offensive rebounds, 11-2 favor of Wekiva, has in particular translated to offensive rebounds as McCarthy steps in front.
She going to go for it? Yes, she is, and she's got it. Shania McCarthy, and one. Warriors foul called against number 23, Ailey Schick. That's her first personal foul, and the team's first of this half.
So, and in particular, those those field goals, Wekiva has taken 10 more from the three-point range, as the free throws no dice for McCarthy. So those are actually, McCarthy's basket is the first points of the second half. We're 2 minutes, 17 seconds in. And Wekiva shooting only 35% from three-point range, 6 of 17. However, you don't have to be the proverbial basketball guru to understand, as Predelis drops the ball up to Gilliard, and she drives the lane and draws the foul. You don't have to be the basketball guru to understand the more field goal attempts you take, the more likely you are to score.
Foul called against Mustangs number 10, Jada Eads. That's her third personal foul, the team's second. Checking into the game for Wekiva, number 12, Omaria Gordon.
So Wekiva, with those 10 extra free throw or three-point field goal attempts,
Timeout, Mustangs.
Has a 6-1 lead in the three-point field goal attempts. That's 15 extra points. And guess what? We have a 16-point lead. 42-26, 5:27 remaining in the third quarter. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. 5:27 remaining in the semifinal Metro Conference West Championship Tournament. 42-36 lead for Wekiva, and the withdrawal made by Scheich.
Ailey Schick from A.J. Gillard, 4-2.
So once again, to finish the thought about the statistics, as Gordon tries to get the layup, no dice. Predelis rebound. West Orange on the move. Predelis, the rebounder, gets the ball at the other end, and she just could not catch iron, and McCarthy brings it down, and now Eads will slow down the pace.
That's the same play that we saw a minute ago at the other end with Canary Holiday, just forgetting how tall they are.
So as I mentioned, Wekiva, with the advantage, they have that lead from the three-point line, connecting with 5 more, 6-1 as we get the foul. Actually, a travel, and Wekiva has 10 more three-point attempts. Certainly a connection there, but the 2-point field goal percentage, even more so, that difference being the 3-point at the 2-point range, both teams have shot 47%.
And we get a turnover here, and that really was Jada Eads that made that turnover happen, but the Mustangs give it right back. Anemic attempt from Gillard in the paint, but an offensive rebound by Skylar Thompson will let the Warriors set it up again.
42-28, approaching 4 minutes in the third quarter. West Orange has gone to a more deliberate pace in the second half, and Gilliard trying to get that shoulder translated into a deuce. No dice, though. McCarthy rips the rebound down. Now she's facing some double team, gets it up to Eads, crosses midcourt, down to the corner to Gordon, launches and drains the
Shada
lane.
Eads to Omaria Gordon for 3.
And the lead now up to 45-28, largest of the night for Wekiva. The game was tied 17-17, 6:09 remaining. Wekiva has outscored on a 28-11 difference since then. This is Eads, the leading scorer, 17. She will not be able to up that total.
Jump ball, possession, Mustangs. Returning to the game for Wekiva, number 33, Jayana Beecham.
Wekiva outscoring West Orange by a 31-11 count since 6:09 in the second quarter. That was sparked by Jada Eads dropping a tray from the left wing. And they will look to further up that lead in the semifinals of this Metro West Conference Championship Tournament. Eads takes a few seconds, stops, drops back, clanks off the heel. And West Orange looking to cut into that lead. They got to do it quickly. Gilliard drains the rain.
A.J. Gard for 3.
So Wekiva looking to answer the long pass. Dangerous pass. And it wasn't dangerous because it was long. It was just a lot
high,
of
it was slow, and Schick had all day to figure out where that one was going to go.
Yeah, if this was football, that would have been a great pass, but you don't want to be throwing those passes in basketball. So Eads gets away with a rare mistake, and she's looking to redeem herself, and does, making the withdrawal.
Jada Eads through traffic for 2.
Among the big trees, she scooped and dropped the deuce. On the other end, Brettalis.
That's where being the shortest kid on the court can sometimes make a difference for you in a good way.
47-31, the Wekiva lead. McCarthy over to Beecham. And
Harden couldn't hold on to it.
Gibson down the other way. She's going to try going one-on-one. And some good defensive eye. McCarthy, the shot was taken off, but McCarthy cut off her lane, and a really high-angled shot had to be taken by West Orange.
Foul called against number 10, Jada Eads. That's her 4th personal foul, the team's 3rd of this half. Rylan Moffitt in for Wekiva. Zoe Calvez for West Orange, and also Jade Lewis for the Mustangs.
And as Mark just called out, of course, Mark is also our public address announcer. Eads, despite her being the leading scorer, she had 19 last night, has 19 now, is in foul trouble. And
Jasmine Gibson is fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. The Mustangs foul this time called against number 15, Rylan Moffitt. That's her 3rd personal foul, the team's 4th.
So Gibson will go to the line. She has 7 points. Allie Schick leading West Orange with 8 points. A very balanced attack for West Orange as Wekiva catches the break, the missed free throw. Four of their players out on the court right now scored at least 5 points. And the second free throw good, cuts the lead to 15. And now a full court defense, although not man-to-man. The ball comes loose. Thompson, long outlet pass to Calvez, and she drops the ball, and that threw off her timing. And
I'm going to say that's out of bounds off of the Warriors. Boy, Mustangs narrowly escape there.
Again, the ball dropped. That just threw off the whole timing. And
yeah, Coach Putz is a little bit heated over the fact that the last couple of close contact plays have resulted in fouls for the Mustangs, but not for the Warriors. Of course, as the lawyers say in their commercials, rulings are based on the unique circumstances of each case. Nice deflection there by Zoe Calvez, and Coach Butts says, you know what, let's take a breath.
Yeah, so even though Wekiva has a 15-point lead, they are getting a bit ragged and smooth. 47-32 is the lead with 1:36 remaining.
Full timeout requested.
And welcome back to Mustang Arena. Wekiva, the home team, with a 47-32 lead over West Orange. Their longtime geographical rival, but this is a 2021 Metro West Girls Basketball Championship Tournament semifinal. Wekiva, the number 1 seed, West Orange, the number 4 seed. The winner will take on either number 2 Dr. Phillips or number 3 Apopka. Wekiva with possession. And the big news, the big story right now is Jada Eads, the leading scorer, 19 points on the bench with 4 fouls, and we're not even into the fourth quarter. But
Rylan Moffitt for 3.
Moffitt making up for Eads on the bench. 50-32, come down the other way. And some bad luck for Wekiva, but now they get some good luck. Just that quickly, their fortunes turned with the bounce of the ball. And West Orange picks up that loose ball. Calvez over to Gibson. Can't get the layup. Clanks off the rim. Moffitt doing the Windex work to McCarthy. Down to Gordon from the left wing. Too much heat. And, boy, we came out of the break a house of fire, man.
Yeah, everybody's getting their steps in tonight. And we're going to get a foul.
So we went from a fairly fast pace for about 3.5 quarters to that break, to that timeout, to just ultra.
Foul called against Omaria Gordon, her 4th personal foul, the team's 5th. Checking into the game for West Orange, number 5, Jezebel Bernard.
So now we've certainly seen the pace pick up. No shot. The refs ruled, I'm not sure what the ruling was, but it was a turnover.
Inbounding violation, Mustangs ball.
So the inbound, when the ball was inbounded, the foot touched the inbound line, I guess. And a foul at midcourt. That's Gordon drawing the foul. So now
block is called against number 1, Skylar Thompson, her 2nd personal foul. The team's 2nd. Mustangs ball at half court.
So with Gibson, Jasmine Gibson drawing that last foul, that means both teams have a player with 4, and it's actually their leading scorer. Both the leading scorers now on the bench with 4 fouls.
Mustangs barely avoid the 5-second call there, but they end up turning it over anyway. Coach Butts is going to be frustrated with that after the game for sure.
Yeah, again, even though Wekiva has that 18-point lead, and they have outscored West Orange by
checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 3, Tiara Coleman.
By a 36-15 margin since 6:09 in the second quarter. Wekiva has still made some unnecessary turnovers, some self-inflicted turnovers, if you will. This is McCarthy, too long. Bobbles around. Moffitt comes up with it. Can't go withdrawal. But doing the Windex work.
Tiara Coleman fouled on the putback attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Mustangs. Foul is called against Warriors number 5, Jezebel Bernard. That's her 1st personal foul and the team's 3rd.
So Coleman pulling out the Windex bottle, doing some board cleaning, and she's rewarded with a pair of free throws. Opportunity to up Wekiva's lead to over 20 as we have 6 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Coleman got an opportunity. She played in the second of the 2 preseason games and made the most. Was high rebounder with 13, also added 16 points. So certainly showing the potential she's capable of. And now 20-point lead, one last opportunity for West Orange. Gain some momentum into the fourth quarter, but snuffed by McCarthy, and she's going to take a long-range tray. That does not go in, but Wekiva ends exactly the way they want to, upping that lead.
That takes us to the end of the third period, and the Mustangs have extended their lead to 20. 52-32 is your score with 8 minutes left in this semifinal contest.
So some strong defense, and before that, some strong offense. Coleman making the most and upping that lead to 52-32. This is the semifinal of the 2021 Metro West Girls Basketball Championship Tournament.
Welcome back to Mustang Arena. This is a semifinal contest, so both of these teams will be playing on Monday. Whoever loses this game will play in the third place game at 5. Whoever wins this game will play in the Metro West Championship at 6:30. Both of those games will be hosted right here at Wekiva High School. The Mustangs have the opening possession of the fourth quarter.
And the Mustangs also hold a 52-32 lead. They fell behind early. First 5 points scored by West Orange. Since then, Wekiva has outscored them 38-15. This is Moffitt inside, and she makes the withdrawal.
Rylan Moffitt from Shania McCarthy for 2.
So lead back over 20. Calvez trying to drive, makes something happen for West Orange, drops it off for...
that was Rosas, who was wide open, but just couldn't get the 3 to fall. McCarthy is there and ready for the rebound.
And again, looking at the stats, the second quarter was the difference. Nothing really changed in that third as Hardin launches the tray, comes down to Gilliard, snags it away from Hardin, and West Orange continues to try to push that ball up. They did try for about 2 minutes as the shot, stop, pop, and drop for
Serena
Rosas.
Rosas for 2.
West Orange did slow down the pace for about 2 minutes, but that didn't really seem to affect Wekiva. And now they're going back to that fast pace up the court. Clanks off the heel. And the rebound from Rosas, who suddenly has made her presence felt. And all kinds of pressure from Lewis, unable to get the ball. But again, about half a dozen times that's been the story. And actually, it's going to be a foul on Lewis. So Wekiva offensive rebounds was the story of why Wekiva was able to overcome that deficit early. And they had 11 at halftime, only 2 in the second half.
Number 0, Jade Lewis, her first, the team's 6th.
And Wekiva dropping only 2 more trays in that third quarter. That was the difference scoring-wise, a 6-1 advantage in the first half.
Basket by number 12, A.J. Gillard.
Gilliard goes bank. So that pretty much means, Mark, since the stats have remained the same for Wekiva, nothing has changed for West Orange either. The lead's been between 17 and 22 in the second half. Since about 4 minutes into the second half as Gilliard sets, and that goes wide right off the rim. Ricochets off the rim.
Checking into the game for the Mustangs, Jada Eads and Gianna Beecham.
So, of course, Eads had to come out midway through the third quarter with 4 fouls. And Coach Butts rolling the dice that Eads has gained enough maturity and experience to avoid getting that 4th foul. Of course, it's not quite as dire a situation with an 18-point lead as Coleman gets the rebound, but even better defense for West Orange. West Orange trailing by 18 has to push that ball. 6 minutes left. And
traveling, Mustangs ball.
Yeah, Thompson, as soon as she made that spin move, lost control. It never really came out of her grasp, but she was not holding the ball firmly, so she couldn't put it down. Now Eads and McCarthy bringing the ball up against the trap, the 2-1-2 trap. Lewis back up to Eads, who's going to take a couple seconds here to give her team a rest. McCarthy, the turnaround floater.
Shania McCarthy from Jada Eads for 2.
And there you see how good Wekiva can execute. Comes down the other way, and the tray.
Serena Rosas for 3.
56-39 as we approach 5 minutes remaining in the semifinals of the Metro West Basketball Championship Tournament. Eads going to drive that lane to spin back to the right to stop, pop, no drop, and Predelis grabbing the rebound.
Skylar Thompson there, and she'll take the ball all the way herself. Can she get the layup? Yes, she does. Skylar Thompson, coast to coast for the Warriors.
So Wekiva now, of course, with that double-digit lead, it's been cut to 15, going to a more slower pace. But the
Tiara Coleman, and 1. Foul called against the Warriors. Number 14, Serena Rosas, that's her first personal foul, and the team's fourth. Checking into the game for the Mustangs, Rylan Moffitt, and for the Warriors, number 24, Jasmine Gibson.
How many rebounds does Moffitt have? Moffitt, 15. Look under 15. What's her rebounds? 7. Okay.
Full timeout requested by the Mustangs. We'll be back with the last 4.5 minutes here at Mustang Arena in this semifinal round of the 2021 OCPS Metro West Girls Basketball Championships. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, here with Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief, as Coach Butts spends his second to last time out there after the three-point play by Tiara Coleman, really shifting the momentum of this game in favor of the Mustangs. And now West Orange with a very tall task in front of them. They trail by 18 with 4.5 minutes remaining in this semifinal game.
And Eads, opportunity to up that defensive back, stop. Pop and no drop. The floater does not go.
Rebound to Predelis. Now the Warriors going to try to get something done in transition, and they do. Jasmine Gibson in transition for the Warriors.
So Wekiva back to work now. They break that full court 2-1-2 press by West Orange. West Orange has been using that press for most of the second half. This is Eads with the 16-point lead. It's been as many as 23.
Now Wekiva's going to slow things down a little bit. They want to breathe.
Yeah, you got 3 minutes, 45 seconds. It's time to play some strategy.
Of course, there's no shot clock in Florida high school basketball, and Predelis is satisfied to let Jada Eads dribble the ball and not force the 5-second call on her. Of course, the clock really is Wekiva's friend right now and West Orange's enemy.
Yeah, and Wekiva has matched their total from last night at 59 points. Field goal percentage is about the same, 38-39, as McCarthy drives lane, kicks out to Beecham, clinks off the rim, but Moffitt grabbing the rebound. And ball comes loose, but there was a foul. So the reason Wekiva, again, matching last night's total with 59, but that means they're taking more shots tonight.
Foul called against Mustangs, number 15, Rylan Moffitt. That's her fourth personal foul, the team's seventh. And that will put the Warriors into bonus. Jasmine Gibson will go to the line, shooting 1-1.
And those stats, which I mentioned, 59 points both nights. Of course, we still have 3 minutes remaining. 39 percentage from the field compared to 38 last night. And the reason Wekiva is in this situation is because they are cleaning up the boards. 43 in total, 27 offensively.
Jana Beecham from Shania McCarthy for the layup.
And there's an example of how those rebounds can certainly play an advantage for the team getting the rebounds. And now the turnover on the foul.
Offensive screening call against number 42, Tanisha Predelis. That's her third personal foul. And it's the team's fifth. Checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 0, Jade Lewis.
So Wekiva now with 3 players in double digits. Eads with 19, McCarthy 15, and Moffitt with 11. This is Eads, number 10, the sophomore with the ball. She does have 4 fouls, so she's got to be careful. 2.5 minutes remaining. She goes right drive, And no dice. Slides off the rim, and Eads gets her hands on that rebound after West Orange came up.
Held ball, possession, Warriors. So Eads and Calvez get tied up there. The rebound will go to Calvez since the possession arrow favors the Warriors right now.
And now West Orange looking to push that ball up. A quick pass to Gilliard, who goes around the lane. Too much heat. And the rebound for Wekiva. McCarthy grabbing that rebound down into the right wing with Moffitt. And now Wekiva set up the half-court offense with 2:15 remaining. A 18-point lead, as many as 23, as little as 15. And now Eads doing the smart thing here, taking time off the clock. West Orange is now back in a 1-4 defense.
And now here you see the difference between the preseason games and not only a regular season game, but a regular season game that is a tournament bracket that's going to count toward the championship. Coach Butts is playing to protect his lead as opposed to in the preseason games where he was, throwing in bench players and pressing forward the whole time. And here J.D. Eads gets called for palming. Warriors ball. Checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 21, Princess Harden.
So West Orange comes up with the turnover, and of course that prevents Wekiva from scoring. But the good news, and to your point, Mark, and again, I don't think you need to be a basketball guru to understand this, Wekiva took about 35 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, and West Orange, for their part, seemed content to let them do it. I mean, not a massive amount of pressure to force those 5-second calls. And they're not going to a red defense. They're not going for the, deliberate foul to force Wekiva to the line. So it looks like West Orange may be in a position to concede this one as Omaria Gordon comes into the game for Wekiva. And West Orange sends in Elisa Lugo and Ailey Schick.
So Wekiva is going to win the semifinal game. Not the easiest to win, having to come from behind as McCarthy kind of a lope there to the rim.
Foul called against Warriors, number 24, Jasmine Gibson. That's her second personal foul. The team sixth at the line shooting for the Mustangs, number 22, Shania McCarthy.
And as you mentioned, Mark, back in the first half, certainly don't expect to see a running clock, which we had in the 3 previous games Wekiva played in. But nonetheless, an 18-point victory. McCarthy with an opportunity to get up to 19. Will land somewhere between 15 and 20, most likely. And I would say that's a rather impressive victory against the 4th seed in West Orange. Of course, West Orange has been down by their standard the last couple of years, but still an above 500 team, and a team that certainly came out for 2.5 quarters and provided somewhat of a challenge to Wekiva.
Nice defense there by Moffitt. Not a block in the traditional sense, but she definitely disrupted that shooting motion and got the rebound. Foul called against number 12, A.J. Gillard. That's her second personal foul. And the team 7th that puts the Mustangs into bonus. First, checking in for West Orange, number 5, Jezebel Bernard. And at the line, shooting 1-1 for Wekiva, number 10, Jada Eads.
And again, the story of this game, the tangible story, the end result, Wekiva trailed 17-14, 6:09 remaining in the second quarter. They, for lack of a better way of putting it, they were looking for the basketball legs, very inconsistent. A number of turnovers and then a couple of well-executed plays on offense. Defense was inconsistent as well, just the focus and the intensity just kind of going back and forth. And since then, since 6:09, Jada Eads, she dropped a tray. And since then, a 48-26 advantage for Wekiva, almost doubling West Orange.
And now Coach Butts has sent in the cavalry. We're going to have a fire drill here at the next dead ball.
And we're going to get a timeout. I think Coach Butts
Wekiva spends their final timeout for a substitution only. And that will retire the starting lineup from this game.
So the bottom line, Mark, as Wekiva will run out the last 40 seconds or so, that is Beecham driving the lane, and she's going to make the withdrawal.
Jayana Beecham picks up the layup for the Mustangs.
Wekiva still looking to find its basketball legs, if you prefer sea legs, so to speak, in terms of their consistency. They're still going to put up a 20-plus point victory, almost 20-point victory against the West Orange Warriors. And I think if you're Coach Butts, despite the details and the consistency not being quite where you'd like it, you still got to be happy with the outcome and the fact that Wekiva was able to turn around a 6-point lead and win by 18. Once again, your final score, 65-45. Wekiva advances to the final, or they will take on the winner of the Apopka Dr. Phillips game, which is going on right now. Take us home, Mark.
That takes us to the end of the ball game. A 20-point victory here in the semifinal. And that means that the Mustangs will advance to the championship game Monday against either Dr. Phillips or Apopka, that's right. Dr. Phillips or Apopka will be the two opponents on Monday. Wekiva will play the winner of that game happening across town, and that will be for the Metro Conference Championship coming up Monday at 6:30. West Orange advances to the third place game, and that will be against whoever loses the game between Dr. Phillips and Apopka. That is coming up at 5 o'clock on Monday. For those of you here in the arena, thanks for coming out tonight. Please drive carefully and arrive home safely. Those of you who are listening online, thanks for tuning in tonight, and make sure that you subscribe before you go. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Wekiva Sports, and bookmark WekivaMustangs.com for all of your scores, schedules, and more. My thanks to Keith Dickerson and his entire team at Wekiva TV Broadcast Production, joining us for tonight's game, as they have for all of our games these last few seasons. For Neil Fisher, this is Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs and Sports Information Director here at Wekiva High School. Wishing you a great night and a great weekend. This has been a presentation of Wekiva High School in association with Orange Technical College, both a proud part of Orange County Public Schools. We hope you'll join us again on Monday. Until then, good night from Mustang Arena.